On this episode of Unbillable, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Not really. We talk about UFC 229 and whether the people in the crowd have a claim since Khabib wanted to punch him in the face. What about like the fire trucks? Fire trucks have pretty good horns. Anyways, full sound effect right there. All right, can we leave now? Hopefully, the neighbor's out of the bathroom.
I hope so.
All right. I'm delivering right here. This is a, this is fun because you can't read it. This is a UCC financing statement release. Basically, we found a lien. A lien is a document that is recorded against your property that evidences money that is owed to the creditor. This lien was for a different debtor, recorded on the wrong piece of property, wrote a couple letters, made a couple phone calls, and now they released the lien. Doing my job. The dirtiest car in the world. Ta-da! oh, Kiki!
I'm kind of butthurt we never did the challenge.
Oh, stop it. There'll be illegal left turn here. Illegal left turn. Get her. Make sure you get her. Boom. Hello, illegal left turn. Don't worry, we won't turn her in. Oh, shit. You gotta get a little bit on there. Is that not good for the vlog? Come on, that's good for the vlog. I was in Vegas for the Las Vegas Food and Wine Festival. Shout out to my friends at Barcelona Enterprises. Appreciate the invitation. Had a great time. They filleted, I don't even know if that's the right word. They turned a 200-pound piece of tuna into a boatload of sushi. And I mean, that tuna weighed more than me. It was amazing. So the Vegas Food and Wine Festival was incredible. By the way, I don't eat sushi. It doesn't mean I can't respect and appreciate the chopping up of a gigantic fish, because that was really cool. Very, very cool. With like a big, long samurai sword. It was like, it was sick. It was really dope. Anyways, but while we were there in Las Vegas, of course, UFC 229. Show your fist every time. Show your fist. UFC 229 broke out. And I mean, I don't know if UFC 229 was held, it ended up breaking out. I don't know if that's the right word for it. UFC 229 broke out. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. But anyways, I don't remember what I was saying now. I'm getting passed by a minivan. Did you see that? Did you get that on the vlog?
Yeah.
Passed by a minivan. How do you explain that? I'm a law-abiding citizen. So I was in Vegas, which explains why I'm getting a salad, because I ate like a freaking king. The food there, I mentioned I was there for a food and wine festival. The food there was outstanding. As long as I'm talking about the food there, I should also mention the following. I went sake bombing while I was in Las Vegas. I mean, that's amazing for two reasons. Number one, we went to this place called Sake Rock. It was a really good time. If you find yourself in Vegas, you should check it out. It's near the T-Mobile Arena, so definitely swing by there and check it out. No sponsorship. It was just a good time. The food was pretty good. And number two, I haven't been sake bombing since, I mean, I'm gonna say 1996, which, real quick, if you do the math, I was only 18. Don't ask any questions. That's not important. Let's just breeze right past that part. But true story, the last time I went sake bombing was 1996. Here I am in 2018, putting a little shot glass on the chopsticks, banging the table. Woo! Who would have thought it? Who would have thought it? I'm out here just enjoying my beautiful day, eating lunch outside, and of course this happens. This guy shows up trying to make a food vlog.
And get to my dessert.
All right, now that we finished up our food here, we can get back into this whole like UFC 229 thing. I'm sure most of you are aware now, Conor McGregor versus, I think we're just calling him Khabib at this point. It's like a lot of words. Someone who has a tough name like myself, I'm just gonna call him Khabib. Even I'm not gonna mess with his last name. But I think most of us saw the world-class beating that Khabib laid down on, you know, basically the world-class talker, Conor McGregor. Regardless of who you like or don't like, don't take that to think that I like one of them and don't like the other. I I don't really root for UFC fighters so much. Like, I find myself enjoying or watching the combat, the fight itself, for style and to see how one might defend themselves against the attack or a different kind of attacking style. But I don't really have like a favorite fighter, so to speak. I'm not wearing tap out shirts in my off time or anything like that. I'm wearing Unbillable shirts, and we're getting some more soon. So hopefully we'll have a link up. Maybe not this episode, but maybe the next episode. I'm hoping. Kid Dangerous, if you're listening, let's do this, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, not to put you on blast. You know, we're homies. But my point being that, well, I don't know what my point is, but really when you go back to the UFC thing, when you go to a sporting event, like we were talking earlier about like a baseball game and the baseball flying out and getting somebody in the crowd, or like think about if you go to a hockey game and sometimes the hockey puck will launch out of the ice. If that puck were to hit you, you don't really have a legal claim because you've assumed the risk by going to the sporting event. You've assumed the risk that, you know, something that happens in the sporting event could lead to your injury. However, in 2004, as well known, the malice in the palace is a little bit of a different situation. If you know that scenario, it was a basketball game. I know it was the Detroit Pistons. I believe it was the Indiana Pacers they were playing. And Ron Artest, formerly Ron Artest, now Meta World Peace, like went into the crowd and started punching fans. I think someone had thrown a cup of drink or something at him, whatever. The moral of the story is a basketball player left the court and then started punching fans in the arena. Now, at that point, you have not assumed the risk of being punched by a basketball player. It's not like ordinary. It's not normal in the course of a basketball game for a spectator to be punched, for someone to go into, let's say, the 10th row swinging fists. That's not an ordinary part of the event, of the sporting event. I mean, even I'm pretty sure even in like the Tyson Holyfield scenario where Tyson bit Holyfield's ear, there's a question as to whether or not Holyfield has a claim because the action, the bite, is so far outside the norm of what was consented to. What was consented to was a boxing match. So again, taking it back to UFC, obviously Khabib and McGregor, they have a consensual agreement to fight inside the octagon, inside the cage. And all the people who are there have agreed to attend to watch that fight. They have not consented to be a part of that fight. So when Khabib launches himself out of the cage and starts throwing punches, and let's just say, I'm not worried about, it's my understanding he was attacking members of Conor's team. I think that implies that they knew how to fight back or defend themselves, whatever. But what about all those people in the area around them? Right? What about the people who were pushed back or pushed upon because of the brawl that broke out as a result of Khabib exiting the octagon? I think there is potential liability there. There was a ton of security, so you'd like to think that it would be hard to make a claim that there wasn't enough security or something like that to stop it. But as far as claims against, you know, Khabib or that guy for leaving the ring and bringing the fight outside the ring, there is no way to sanction it. It's kind of an interesting scenario where him throwing punches and wrestling inside the ring is sanctioned and legal conduct, but the moment he exits the ring, he's now just like a hooligan vigilante throwing punches. Like, the legality ends at the line, right? The legality ends at the line that is the cage. I mean, right? The cage itself. The moment he gets outside of the cage, vigilante hooligan. When he's inside of the cage, lightweight world champion, right? And if you like the lightweight world champion, if you like Conor McGregor, if you like all the ridiculous antics that have been going on before this most recent UFC fight, hit the like button. I mean, maybe just like the video, hit the like button. If you have a comment for me, something you want to talk about assumption of risk, tennis, baseball, hockey, UFC, put it in the comments below. Of course, we'd be happy to talk to you. And of course, subscribe. It means a lot to us. So with that, we look forward to seeing you. Hopefully you look forward to seeing us on the next episode of Unbillable.